So as you watch in the performance, I actually did two variations. The first one, which is the one I'm gonna start explaining, is asking the spectator to say stop whenever they want, and let's say they want right there. I'm gonna peel 1 and 2 right under the middle finger so they don't get lost with the upper half. And with the middle finger, I push it against this middle finger, these two cards. And I'm gonna rotate it, maybe, sometimes I pinch it with a thumb, so it's easier to get them off. And keep spinning. The middle finger of this hand, the one is holding the deck, is gonna help me to push it into position and keep rotating the double. And the index finger of my right hand, in this case, is gonna push it back a little. You can leave at least half of the double, as you can see right here, outside. And when you push it back in, make sure you peel them off so you can keep them as one so they don't flash in case of any crimps or any separation among them because of any extra foldings, you know. So from here, there is a move I want to explain before I proceed to that technique, which is being able to peel off the top card 90 degrees, or half spin. Okay, I have it in a thumb and middle finger holding the double. From here I do half spin while I'm trying to steal the bottom card and hold it in some sort of a take-eye palm. Okay, so it's better not to do it straight up as I'm doing it right now, because they can see more easily this edge. And also keep these fingers closed, or relax is better, and stay in 30 degrees or 45 degrees, so it's a little bit better. And keep your hand, this hand, more relaxed, okay, so it doesn't look too obvious. So going back to the spinning, I do half spin the top card, trying to keep it a square with the deck. Then when you do half spin, the index must push against the oddjaw card, so the index of this other hand keep spinning, which this is another flourish in and of itself, because notice the index push against the oddjaw card, splitting both halves, the bottom and the top, just a little bit, so the bottom half doesn't touch the oddjaw card, disturbing the spinning, you know. But the index is touching right there, pushing a little harder than the bottom half. And your tips must be wet a little bit, so the oddjaw card stay there and doesn't move around the pivot point, which is in this case the index finger. And that's pretty much it for this flourish. So once you get used to the spinning and to the take-eye palm, okay, which the take-eye palm is basically just hold the card with the thumb. That's it. And the other fingers are relaxed. So once you get the double out of the deck in the full 180 degrees spin motion, when you are about to go face down with the whole thing, I'm trying to steal the bottom card in a really nice way. Well, maybe more reasonable, more justifiable, so it doesn't look too obvious that's the stolen action. And I'm holding it with a thumb, and to do the spin, notice the thumb is pushing against the middle finger, and do half spin with a top card with the right hand alone. And then as soon as the bottom card is out of the way, the index push against the top card, and I keep spinning in the same motion and in the same rhythm. Don't stop. Don't make it look too obvious because of that rhythm. And from here, you see. Now when you take the double, make sure you don't make a lot of noise out of them. It's better with a middle and a thumb. Notice I'm trying to use the middle finger in this other corner and bring it back. Keep spinning down, and the index hold everything, the double in position, and push it in halfway. The index finger is not doing contact with the double yet until you do the partial spin, push it against, and keep spinning. And you can outreach the top card out of the deck a little bit. So the justification to drop this card on top of the deck is I need to reach this double. Now make sure you don't open the fingers yet until you are quite close with an agile card to bring it in. Is there when you drop the selection on top. When I do the spinning, I try to do the spinning showing the face. I try not to do the spinning showing the back, because I'm gonna have to go up and then down again. So instead I try to do only one spin, so you don't show overkill, the same move too much. I don't think it looks really natural. Or maybe, it doesn't look too bad anyway, but at least in this particular case, I only did it face up and then going face down. Now, as you notice, I keep flashing the corner, this corner, because I'm not in the right angle. I need to move a little further down to the side, so it's a little bit more secure. And I prefer the first variation over the second one because it looks a little bit more justifiable, in my opinion. Now, the second variation of it is just pretty much get a double lift any way you prefer. The point is you need to bring the double lift into the deck. Okay, so before you reach all the way into the deck, when you are about halfway there, you start moving face down and steal the card. The index keep touching the top card, so it's concealing everything much better. I swing the deck away and bring it back. I try not to move this hand too much, so it doesn't look like it is stealing anything. You see, I'm flashing a little bit because I'm not really in the right angle. You see, just keep it smooth, and it looks suspicious anyway, but it's not really holding the card for too long, so you can just get rid of it. Now let me explain this stolen action. All I'm doing is bringing the double into the deck. Before I bring it all the way in, I swing the deck face down and away so I can bring it back. And it can cut more the attention this hand than the one is holding the card, in a sense. Maybe not that well anyway, but the swing covers a bit better, at least I believe. Before I reach all the way in here, I take that top card. The thumb is pushing against the middle finger to do this, and then it's also pushing against the index to hold the top card into the deck. Okay, so I don't think the stealing card from the bottom is really that complicated. Okay, so very quickly, this is the first variation, pinching against the middle and thumb. The middle finger holding this other corner, spin it, and the index is ready over here, so I can bring it back. Okay, from here, when I go face down, I spin it again. I do the partial spin with the right hand. Only with this hand is doing all this mess, because the index, notice, is right here in the corner. The thumb push the top card away, and because the index is right here in the side, is not really allowing the top card to get off straight up like that. And because the index is right here, it's gonna tilt the card and spin it 90 degrees. After the bottom card get away from the top card, push with the index against the top card, so you can keep spinning in the same motion. And it looks a little bit more reasonable and more fancy than the second variation. I prefer this first variation because it's not a flourish that really is gonna make you drop the cards, and it's really subtle over the second variation. And there are many other variations you can do, but I believe these are the most subtle ways I guess I can come up with so far, and hopefully you find it useful.